Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Enthros Campbell. Today we're looking at the electronic single window for trade, an online platform being developed by the government to facilitate trade. And to discuss where we are in the process, the changes that will take place, and the benefits is National Project Manager Maurice. Happy to have you, Mr. Coke.
Thank you very much. It's indeed a pleasure to be here to share.
Yes, yes. We'll start at the beginning. What exactly is this initiative? Tell us about it.
All right. The electronic single window for trade is a platform being developed, an online platform where traders can submit for applying for trade permits and fulfill all government regulatory requirements as it relates to import, export, and transit. One single entry point electronically.
Right, so this will mean that persons will not have to go to these various different entities, agencies, to get, to facilitate, to help with their trading initiatives.
Indeed.
Indeed.
What it means is that from the comfort of your home, you might not be in office or anywhere, because it's an online portal.
It is online,
yeah,
yes.
The electronic form being developed. You can apply for permit to import or to export, and you can, and it will also allow you to fulfill all regulatory requirements. Also, it's an online platform for payment as well. So it's one single point. Yes. So instead of a trader going for maybe two different, what they call BRAs, Border Regulatory Agency,
yes,
to apply, still utilizing the same form in terms of the application form, which comes at a cost, paper-based, right? Just one single point of entry, yes, and the process starts.
So what is the genesis? Yes.
I'm glad you used the word genesis, the origin, the beginning.
Yes.
Right, there is a national impetus in terms of we improving what we call our ranking. World Bank has a ranking it does every year of about 190 countries, and there are many parameters, but the one that cuts directly in terms of this project is the ease of doing cross-border trade. Yes. And we are presently ranked by the 2019 edition at 134 in terms of our position.
And our government is not satisfied with that.
Indeed, neither am I. Arnold,
right.
Jamaica should be satisfied.
Yes.
Because what you find is that if we can improve the ranking from 134, remember it's 190 countries in all, so we're at the bottom half.
Yes.
Right? You'll find that clearly it will attract investors, foreign investment, and that would dovetail into greater job creation, greater opportunity, economic opportunity in terms of the country and so on. So we are on a drive, an impetus, as I would call it, to improve our ranking. And part of it is to facilitate trade. Another reason why we are going this route is that we are now a signatory since 2016 to the WTO, that's the World Trade Organization,
yes, Trade
Facilitation Agreement that was first signed in 2013.
So tell us about that, the Trade Facilitation Agreement.
Okay, well, the crux of it is that all the countries that are involved are a member country in terms of the TFA, sorry, the WTO TFA, have a mandate, or they are being encouraged to improve the efficiency of doing trade, right? And the thing about it, which is why we are so strategically positioned, right, is that the WTO estimates that if trade can improve worldwide, right, that there is a potential of increasing trade overall of $100 trillion. Now, look at it this way. The person who's ranked number 1 has less inefficiency by far, as opposed to the person who's ranked at number 50, right? So we have more room for improvement by improving our ranking. So therefore, in terms of that pie, $1 trillion pie, we can eat into that $1 trillion pie more than the person at number 1, the country at rank 1 or 10 or 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the electronic single window for trade is an element of the trade agreement.
Yes. The trade agreement also carries other outputs.
Yes.
That's just one of the outputs in terms of we trying to let trade become more efficient. There are other things looking at in terms of the BRAs, the Border Regulatory Agencies, that represents any government agency that has something to do with inspecting at the border.
Tell us about some of those agents. Who are they? Like, which entities?
Well, the implementing agency right now, where my team is based, 24 of us, is the Jamaica Customs Agency.
Yes.
But then you have Trade Board, JAMPRO, for example, Veterinary Service Division, VSD, Planned Quarantine, right? And you have quite a bit of others, like NCRA as well, and so on.
Where are we in the process now? How far are we just at the start? Tell me about the process.
We are gathering momentum. Still a way to go because this project is scheduled for about 36 months. And we started really get ramping up. It started about August into September last year. But how it runs is that what we do when we go into the BRAs is that the team is 24 strong and we have 5 what we call business analysts. Their job is to go into the BRA and to assess the as-is, how their processes are right now, and to come up with terms of doing analysis of that to lead to what we call the to-bes. To be specific, what needs to be done in terms of their policies, procedures, and even their legal framework, right, to let their processes now fit into the electronic single window that is being developed. So the BAs have completed their work in the first border regulatory agency identified, and our developers are now using that information to develop what we call the coding program that needs to create that electronic form. So
you've completed that phase and you're happy about that phase. And so what's going to be next?
What is next is the launch of the testing of the prototype that is going to come up very shortly. So by the end of May, thereabout, into June, and then the launch after which. What's important though is that the work continues. The approach being taken is what we call agile project management, which means that we're going to be phasing in each BRA one at a time into the electronic single window for trade. So the business analysts have moved on to the second and third BRA, while the programmers that are in-house and so on is developing the single window for the first agency, and then as they complete their as-is into the to-bes, and that is going to be then generate the code to add the second BRA into the single window and the third and so on. So as we progress, we call it progressive elaboration. As you progress, what you'll find that means is that more fields will be added, it will become more functional across all BRAs, ultimately completing in 36 months.
You're watching Get the Facts, and we're talking about the single electronic window for trade. We'll be back with more information. Stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Mr. Cooks, tell me, what are the features of this electronic single window for trade?
All right. The feature, one of the main features is the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, a single entry point in terms of submission of trade-related data for you to apply for permits, certificates, license, and to fulfill all government regulatory requirements as it relates to international trade. That's important to mention international trade. So the feature also will involve, in terms of what it brings to the table, is greater transparency. Right? It also brings to the table greater predictability and also more efficiency. And that entails that a trader don't have to be paying the costs from all various BRAs in these terms of the hard copy forms to basically filling out some information that overlaps on each of the form at a cost and so on. So that's a big feature, and of course it allows you to able to see what is happening in terms of you getting a reference number back, and it will come back to you in terms of where you are in your process, whether it's approved or it's delayed or denied, or perhaps even if you need to submit more information, there's something missing. Right.
And so this is not going to be a long, drawn-out process. How difficult it is to implement changes. How simple, how easy, how will this process work for the persons the traders themselves who need to use it? It's not something that we're going to be worried about.
It might seem that the surface like just an IT project, but no. It's really about change management and stakeholder buying. As a matter of fact, we are all in it together. One of the things that the team, and we're based at Jamaica Customs, they are the implementing agency, Jamaica Customs Agency implementing.
Yes.
The Arab area as well. And we are being led by UNCTAD, United Nations for Trade, Conference Trade and Development, right? Is that we have to be doing a public awareness. That's why I'm glad I'm here as well. Because it's going to impact the way how Jamaica do trade overall, total impact. And so it is very far-reaching. And we are putting the necessary mechanism in place as well in terms of necessary redundancy, because we're going online now in terms of doing trade. All you need at the user end, all you really need is access to the internet and a device that can allow you to put in the information, whether it be the what we call a universal resource locator to get to the application. Yeah, and so it is much more simplified in terms of you doing trade across borders.
So you didn't talk about the cost, though, that it should be cost effective.
It's going to be cost effective by far. Just imagine, I would know sometimes our gas price go up and down. Just imagine now that you don't have to leave your office or wherever you are to submit for asking for reapplying for a permit or fulfilling any regulatory requirements in terms of fees, etc. Everything will be there once you can get online and you access the electronic single window for trade application.
So you're now sensitizing the BRAs. What about the traders themselves? When are you going to start that process?
That has actually started already. We are doing a number of things in parallel. So we have gone along with UNCTAD and myself. Well, we're just one team, by the way. We call it PIT. I'm not supposed to pronounce it because, you know, but we're the PIT. And we have done 2 change management seminars, and that was targeting the border-related agencies. It's 2 phases to the project. Phase 1 is 9 BRAs. Yes. And then we're going to have phase 2 with 11 BRAs coming on. We have also done what we call sensitization programs, and we have done 2 of that as well. And also have reached out in terms of the various key stakeholders, the Jamaica, the custom brokers, the 2 associations, that is it, the JMEA, Jamaica Manufacturer Export Association, JCCA, Integral Involved as well, Shipping Association. So we have been moving around, or we have engagement, so to really promote and present it to the trade community as a whole. All right, so that's a key part to get this done. You
just mentioned UNCTAD.
Yeah.
What is UNCTAD's role in this whole process?
Yeah, UNCTAD plays a pivotal role in the process, although we're all together. Because I represent the national project team, me and my team, 24 strong, business analysts, trainers, developers, business intelligence, quality assurance, and we also have documentation specialists along with our monitoring evaluation persons. Quite a team. But UNCTAD, they are leading the way in terms of how the prototype is to be developed and also guiding us in terms of even the BPR and other areas. Also, I don't want to, it would be remiss of me to mention that the legal framework, because some of the BRAs, their legal framework, like for example, the trade agreement and so on, is a bit behind in terms of years. So we're also in conjunction with some other government agency like Office of the Cabinet, and being led by what we call TF Square, the Trade Facilitation Task Force, which actually giving oversight to all 6 outputs. Right? That's an important aspect as well. Yes. So we are looking at all of that to really, in a sense, revamp not only the way we do trade, but even the legal framework. Because the aim is for us to move up the ranking. It depends on the way you look at numbers or the ranking itself.
So the aim of this electronic single window for trade is to improve the whole trading process, right? To make trading easier, more efficient, and to get more persons.
More predictable, more transparent, and efficient.
Uniformity of data.
Yes, and so on. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we have started, as you said, what are some of the agencies that you're engaging? And in the first instance, which agency is really responsible for the project? It is the Jamaica Customs Agency.
The Jamaica Customs Agency is the implementing agency. Yes. But the fact that we are housed there and the infrastructure being developed as the prototype is developed over the 36 months, they are also automatically what we call the interim operator.
Yes.
Because we'll be looking at things like custom support, in terms of the infrastructure that needs to go in terms of also the disaster and business recovery. So we're also partnering with eGov in terms of the backup system. So we want to ensure that there is stability and continuity and accessibility of trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yes, and which other ministries?
Or the ones that are going to be impacted in terms of the border regulatory agencies, as I give some example. Trade Board Limited is considered a border regulatory agency. Plant quarantine and pesticides. I'm kind of missing the name fully.
Yes.
Pharmaceutical division. Also a veterinary service division.
Yes.
So we also have Jamaica Customs Agency itself is part of phase 1. And so there are 9 in all in phase 1 that's going to be implemented in a phase basis.
So who is funding the electronic single window for trade?
This project is being funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB.
Yes, and it's an important project. Tell Jamaica why it is important to get buy-in in this program.
Let me just lean forward and tell you it's so important. Remember now that how things are from a world point of view, a lot of these countries, these investors, they look at rankings. Yes, it's good to know that, boy, this is used in both countries, but they don't watch that. They watch statistics in terms of where to invest and so on. If we improve from 134 and really improve in the ranking significantly, that in itself will attract foreign investors to our shores. And the spin-off of that is job creation and other opportunities for all Jamaicans to get to. So, you know, it's either all of us as Jamaicans win or all of us lose. But guess what? We are all winners. The campaign will spread far beyond the trade community in terms of the awareness. Right? Myself, the trainers, and the PR company will do our endeavor best to ensure that Jamaica, the boxing term is this, punch above our weight class.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's our program. We've been looking at the electronic single window for trade, and that's been developed to streamline trading within Jamaica. Our resource person has been Maurice, manager of the electronic single window for trade. Until next time, I'm Rose Campbell. Take care.